Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Hey, my bad, man. Damn, I'm sorry, my bad. Pardon me. human being here. What's up, people? How y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Tim, you got a great mic, but you got to put it closer. What is up, Wolfpack? What's going on, Johnsons? What's cracking? Man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, yo. I tell you, man, it's been something. It's been something, hasn't it? I want to say, first of all, I want to say what's up to my people on YouTube, my people on Facebook, my people on Twitch, all the Tim Black Wolfpack members, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. Oh, that's hot. The mic is hot. I'm bringing that down. I put the, see? See? There you go. That's where it's supposed to be, Tim. I don't want to catch all the breaths, though. It's like, too close. It's too good. Let me make sure everything's good on the platforms real quick. Make sure we're hot, live, right here, you know. People can hear the show. Yeah, let's get it going. What's up, Facebook? What is up, Facebook people? Is y'all in the house? It's the Facebook in the house. Facebook in the house. All right, so first, I don't even kick this off yet. Facebook's in the house. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, Johnson. It's which one we gonna use? There we go. We use that one. We use that one. Okay. Get out of here, Johnson. Okay. We're good on YouTube. We're good on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, has been here as well. All my Wolfpack members in the house. We're good. I got my Wolfpack going on. Okay, looking good. Wolfpack, all Tim Black's Wolfpack members, man, thank you, Johnsons, for being around. Let me explain something. I got a, what was it, Thursday? Wednesday, Wednesday about 3:30 p.m., I got my first COVID-19 shot. First dose. All right? And, yeah, so I did that, you know. I went out and did it, and I did it. It was real convenient. Went up to the local CVS, not too far. Went up there. We registered online, went and got the shot. Got it, you know, got there. Took less than 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get it. Hung around for 15 minutes to make sure I had no, you know, allergic reaction to the virus, to the vaccine. And then I stopped by the store, picked up a couple things, and came on in. And that was my Wednesday. Perfect. It's a day off from the show. I had other stuff to do, but no live show on a Wednesday night. And I'm thinking, okay, everything's cool. Here's the thing. About 24 hours in, my arm was like throbbing. I had a headache. And I said, okay, this is to be expected. It's not out of the normal. Like most people had sight of the, what they call it? Sight of the shot, something like that. Sight of the shot. What's that called? Anyway, I had some swelling at the spot of injection. Okay. And I had a headache. So I took some aspirin. Took Tylenol. Okay. Tylenol, once again, guys, nothing to worry about. This is routine stuff. A lot of people have these first symptoms with the Moderna, two types of cocktail thing. So I went to sleep, and you guys know I'm up all hours of the night. So I went to sleep, and I woke up. It was like midnight on Thursday. I was like, okay, my people will understand. So we didn't have a Thursday show. But you know what's going on, guys. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was a big deal to get this shot done, and now I'm okay. And today I woke up, I feel just like regular old Tim Black. It's the same thing. I'm just doing what I do. No headache, no anything. I'm just Tim. It's business as usual. So I understand that the second shot is the one that you want to write home about. Okay, that's the one. So I also will be chronicling that one and let you know what's going on with that. Shout out to all my Wolfpack members on Patreon who commented about the vaccine, and wished me well and told me that, don't worry, just, be okay, Tim Black, and stay strong, Tim Black, and, all that good stuff. I appreciate you. So that's where we are, guys. What else? It is Friday. Friday's a Freedom Friday on this show. Tuesdays and Fridays, we open up phone lines. Today is Friday, we open up phone lines. As you can see, the number is down on the screen. Folks, if you want to get into it, you want to call up, 319-527-6212. That's the number you dial into. Let's make it happen. And there we go. Call in, be a part of it. The show don't work without you, Johnsons. That's how the show works. That's why it's a good show. So I got a few story items, guys, I want to run through. Then I want to go to phone calls to give people a chance to talk because, frankly, that's the beauty of Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday is all about the callers, baby. And that's a damn good thing because we got callers who call in all over the world with different points of view. And it's great to hear people express themselves about news, about what's happening in their communities, things that matter to them, and sometimes their personal stories as it relates to just issues in general. So I'm real proud of that and real proud of you guys. Let's get it cracking. First thing I want to do, now, Thursdays I usually do an update about Senator Nina Turner, SNT's run, right? So since we didn't get that yesterday, I'm not going to skip that. We got to do that, guys. Once again, guys, let's get to it. Let's get Nina to Washington, D.C. That's right, let's get her to Washington, D.C., y'all. This is how we do it. I like to start things off with a new ad. A new ad from the Tina Turner. Tina Turner. Okay, we're going to have to edit that. All right, guys. Let's get things started with a new ad from the Senator Nina Turner campaign. Don't forget to go to ninaturner.com to support her campaign. Don't forget the phone bank, test bank. Join it, become a part of it. It's real easy. It's real simple. Sign up. We don't get the government that we want. We get the government that we make happen. And let's make it happen with Senator Nina Turner. Here goes the new ad put out this week, and I think it's amazing. Check this out.
Every time the life of an unarmed black man is cut short by police violence, we're outraged. When it happened here, I said enough is enough. Not as a state senator, but as the mother of a black son. I led Ohio's first bipartisan community police task force to stop racial profiling and address police brutality. We established standards for accountability, hiring, and use of force. I'm Nina Turner, and I approve this message to be a voice for change.
That's right. That's right, Johnson. That's right. That's right. So that's the new criminal justice ad from the Nina Turner campaign. And it's right on point because it's addressing the issues that a lot of voters are concerned with there in her home state of Ohio in the 11th district. She's also got a number of endorsements this week to announce. One was from, you may remember this guy, Attorney General, Minnesota's Attorney General, Keith Ellison. Okay? The special election for the 11th Congressional District of Ohio is November 2nd. I support Nina Turner, and I hope you do too. A better world is possible if we have the faith and courage to claim it. Nina has great faith and courage. So give it up for that. And I'm still like, yo, I just, hey, look, I'm very happy about this endorsement because, first of all, shout out to Keith Ellison, Attorney General Keith Ellison. A phenomenal job he did taking over the case of the Derek Chauvin trial in Minnesota. come right behind that and then endorse SNT. That's a big deal, guys. Give it up for that. Also, following the release of that new ad for Nina Turner, they hosted a criminal justice conversation with Keith Ellison. And this was the 30th Attorney General and former U.S. House Representative from Minnesota's 30th Attorney General. So I didn't know that. He was the 30th. Okay. Attorney General Ellison led the charge in convicting former police officer Derek Chauvin. Attorney General Ellison has previously announced his endorsement of Nina Turner in the Ohio 11th congressional election. Joined Turner to discuss the urgent action required to resolve the systemic inequalities in our criminal justice system. So I like the fact that Nina's working with Attorney General Keith Ellison on that. That's big time, folks. Also, another endorsement, guys. It's so much stuff and so many updates. I want to make sure you got them all. Remember, go to ninaturner.com. The American Postal Workers Union. Do we have anything for that? Let me see if I got a slide for that. Yes, the American Postal Service Union. That's one. Oh, we got another endorsement. That's another major endorsement. It's all these endorsements. In the face of continuous attacks, the American Postal Workers Union endorses Nina Turner for Ohio's 11th congressional district, highlighting her long record of supporting postal workers, protecting union pensions, and opposing the privatization of the post office. Turner's commitment to the struggle to defend our union jobs and the Postal Service is unparalleled. She's a fervent supporter of collective bargaining rights, important rights for postal workers, and making it easier for all workers to form unions. She supports eliminating the 2006 pre-funding mandate that forces the USPS to fund retiree health benefits 75 years into the future. Turner opposes any reduction in the pension and health benefits for federal and postal employees. She strongly opposes the privatization of our public postal service. If elected, Turner will fight for the postal service and postal workers every day on the job. Bam! Okay. So much stuff, guys. So many updates. I don't want to miss any of the updates. This doesn't get covered everywhere. We got to cover it, right? The Sunrise Movement. That's another great endorsement. Give it up for that. So much happening, man. Boom. Time for us to have her back. Sunrise Movement endorses Nina Turner for Congress. Yes, that's what's up. The U.S. The youth-led climate campaign called the former Ohio State Senator a champion for people everywhere on a myriad of issues impacting our communities. They have endorsed her. Now we know. Now the Sunrise Movement, they endorsed Bernie Sanders as well. And they fall right in line as well with the same core values that Sanders and Senator Nina Turner share. They also support that. Climate change is their focus, and they see Nina Turner. The most important thing about the Sunrise Movement endorsement is their vision. They understand that we must stop climate chaos right now for them and for generations that yet to come or unborn, said Nina Turner. And it says here, now here goes the Sunrise Movement. They said, Ohio's 11th deserves a congresswoman who will be a fierce advocate for the Green New Deal and progressive policies amidst the twin economic and climate crisis we're facing. Nina is that leader. She understands what our communities are going through and is not afraid to stand up and work against the tide when it comes to helping her people. Give it up for that. Sunrise Movement. Anything else? Oh, yes. More stuff. Here we go. She did an article. Now, this was a combination with her and she teamed up. Now, the connection between COVID-19 and diabetes is cause for pause. So, Nina Turner teamed up with Freddie Figures. Freddie Figures, they wrote an op-ed. That's the op-ed. The connection between COVID-19 and diabetes, okay? And it says the true test of whether the nation is racist is revealed in the data. From research, we know that there isn't one facet of American life that hasn't been touched by systemic racism. From policing to education to banking to our highway system. Even medicine's not immune. Today, roughly 67% of doctors admit to having some level of bias against African Americans. Once again, roughly 67% of doctors admit to having some level of bias against African Americans. Yeah, we say, oh man, we got a racist country. No, we don't. It's not racist. These are the people that recognize it. How often do we hear these people who are blatantly, obviously racist, who say, I'm not racist at all, I just don't like the N-words. I'm not racist at all, I just think they should stay over there away from the whites. I'm not racist at all, but I think they should all be shot. Why don't they just listen to cops better? I don't know why they're so hard-headed. Why don't they just listen? These people, you people just don't. So these doctors are the good ones. These are the ones that are at least aware they have a bias and maybe they could try to counteract that. They still have a bias, Johnson, and it's against, not for. Because we'll talk about that a little bit later. Next, I'm not done. One more update. I tell you, man, Senator Nina Turner stays busy, and this campaign is busy. Once again, go to ninaturner.com, become a member of, or a text bank member, or a phone bank member, or if you can give money, whatever you can do. If it's work, if it's assistance, if it's volunteering, if it's a donation, become a part of it. Nina Turner was on the Breakfast Club. Here we go, guys. Just so busy, guys. Once again. Tim Black's Wolfpack, I'm telling you, Nina Turner puts a brother to work because she's got a lot of updates. Here she is on the Breakfast Club. I can't play the clip, but here's a quote. If we're ever going to build an America as good as it's promised, we can't stop fighting for Medicare for all, a living wage, canceling student debt, and dignity in retirement. We must elect leaders with the courage to ask for more. And then the Turner ends it by saying, I'm a leader that will ask for more. I will ask for more. I have the courage to ask for more. And that's what she's about, y'all. So, I was on the Breakfast Club. I know she reached millions of people on the radio, on different syndicated markets, and also on the YouTube channel. But remember, the Breakfast Club goes a long ways. It's not just YouTube. So, what else, guys? That's it. Whew. Okay. Senator Nina Turner, she needs your vote. She needs your support. If we want people that are going to fight for us, we need to elect those people. Nina Turner's running. Let's get her in office. Election day, August, I want to say 3rd. Early voting, 6th. Don't make me guess. Go to ninaturner.com, become a part of it. All right, guys, give it up for that. And thank you for helping me put that together, K-Love. K-Love helped me with all that because there's a lot of information, a lot going on with the campaign. We want to start being your one-stop shop to find out all the updates on Nina Turner, though. Happy to do it. Next. Okay, let's just, how are we going to do this, Tim? You know, I don't want to go here yet, but I guess I have to. America's a racist country. We talked about that, and we all know this. If you're a frequent viewer of the Tim Black Show, you know we don't BS around. I'm too old to BS around. I ain't got time to defend nonsense. I'm not going to defend parties or bad policies or bad politicians or any of that, okay? One of the things that bothers me, though, guys, is that some of us, at one time or another, most of us, at one time or another, get our hearts broke. We get our hearts broke because we believe in someone, we believe in a mission, or the duty of someone, or the work of someone, and then they let us down. Now, I want people to understand, I'm not rubbing this in. But if you're going to be butthurt about what I'm about to cover, I get that too. It's not my fault. This person is just off the rails, and they're choosing to be off the rails. Folks, I'm talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Folks, what is going on with Tulsi Gabbard? Tulsi Gabbard, ever since, it's like she's made one decision after the other that makes it look horrible for anybody who ever supported her. Now, we all know I supported Bernie Sanders in the primary. I went independent in the general, as I always do. I don't know what's wrong with people. But here's the deal. Tulsi Gabbard was somebody who at one time was saying things that were interesting us regarding war. But since then, I started noticing that Tulsi Gabbard wasn't good at race-related issues. And now I know why. Tulsi Gabbard has a panache, man. It's a thing. It's a thing. It ain't an accident. It ain't a bug. It's a feature. It's by design. Look at this tweet. Mayor Lightfoot's blatant anti-white racism is abhorrent. I call upon President Biden and Kamala Harris and other leaders of our country of all races to join me in calling for Mayor Lightfoot's resignation. Our leaders must condemn all racism, including anti-white. First of all, I don't even think there's a such thing as anti-white racism. I didn't even know that's the thing. How can white people be treated I couldn't even say it. Doesn't even make sense, guys. The whole country's run by white people. Now, there may be anti-poor white people, but that's a subset of white people. It's anti-poor, yes, definitely. America's anti-poor. But to say it's anti-white or people are anti-white don't make sense. Now, what is she referring to, Tim? Give us some context. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is no hero of mine. Not a big champion of her. But this is what Tulsi Gabbard is gaslighting about, okay? Check this out. I don't think I put that.
The Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot facing criticism for her decision to grant one-on-one interviews with only minority journalists to commemorate her second anniversary in office. In a letter to City The Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot facing criticism for her decision to grant one-on-one interviews with only minority journalists to commemorate her second anniversary in office. In a letter to City Hall, Chicago City Hall reporter, she wrote, "There are only a handful of beat reporters of color in the City Hall press corps. There are 0 women of color assigned to the City Hall beat, 0. I find this unacceptable, and I hope you do too. It is impossible for this glaring lack of diversity not to be reflected in the daily coverage of government, politics, and city life every single day." Joining me now is Lynn Sweet. She's the Washington bureau chief for the Chicago Sun-Times and a longtime member of the Chicago press corps. So what's going on here, Lynn?
Well, John, I just want to say from the beginning, I am not troubled by this. I've been part of the Chicago press corps for a long, long time. And Lori Lightfoot did not say anything that we did not know. So what's going on, John? For one day, she's trying to shake everybody up and shine a spotlight on the lack of diversity in the City Hall press corps. John, I keep a foot in City Hall politics as well as covering Washington and the White House. I can within an hour be on the phone with someone from Capitol Hill, the White House, and City Hall. So I know what Lightfoot's talking about. Chicago is a very diverse city. The newsrooms are not.
So Gregory Platt, who's with the Chicago Tribune, this is how he responded. He says, "I'm a Latino reporter at the Chicago Tribune whose interview request was granted for today. However, I asked the mayor's office to lift its condition on others, and when they said no, we respectfully canceled. Politicians don't get to choose who covers them." He's basically saying, if they're going to do this, I'm not playing.
I respect Gregory. He is a regular in City Hall. He's there every day. But I respectfully want to point out that big newsmakers pick who they want to talk to for one-on-one interviews all the time. I only live in the real world, John, as you do. And we know that when you're a big newsmaker with many interview requests, you pick and choose. Today marks the second anniversary of Lori Lightfoot being mayor. That's why this is coming to a head today. So she had a bunch of interview requests. So she did pick and choose. And some of the outlets that she is talking to today are community outlets that don't have the resources to staff City Hall every day like the big legacy outlets do. And what's wrong with that? And by the way,
well, some people are playing it. So, you know, some people are playing it basically as no whites allowed. That's how it's being portrayed, as you can imagine, on an entire cable network.
Absolutely. And I see what's happening, and I see how the right-wing press is playing this. But everybody take a deep breath. That's not what is happening. If I had a question for Lori Lightfoot and I was in Chicago today, she's having a press conference in a few hours. John, if anyone at CNN wants to go ask her something, you could do it. Show up. Do you know Lori Lightfoot has a press?
Okay. So I don't. That's enough. I don't need to hear any more of that. Here's the thing, guys, and you hear what he said. Like a lot of people on Fox News are saying this. No whites allowed. Do tell. If the criticism that Lori Lightfoot is leveling is accurate, by default, there's no blacks allowed. You're fine with there being no blacks allowed without anybody saying anything. Just by the sheer number of who gets hired, who gets able to, to actually do the job. So these white organizations hire white people to do the job, and they just keep hiring white people and giving white people the assignments. Black people don't get the assignments. They don't say no blacks allowed, but they don't hire black people. And then when Lori Lightfoot says, hey, today for one freaking day, send some black people over here, please, for my one-on-one interviews. Not for the press pools, but for the one-on-one interviews. Send some black people. You say, oh, we're discriminated against. You didn't give a shit that black people been discriminated against 364 days out of the year. That's literally what she's saying. And don't make me defend Lori Lightfoot, because I don't know Lori Lightfoot's record. What I do know, they say she's too cozy with the cops, but then I see the cops don't like her either. I don't know. I don't think anybody likes Lori Lightfoot right now. But here's the thing is real simple, man. Tulsi Gabbard was using race. Yeah, she was doing nothing but deflecting. She was sort of like, she was been gaslighting about race. And what has she been using to stay relevant? Race. Who knew, Mikey? He likes it. Hey, Mikey. That's exactly what she's been using to stay relevant. Championing for the poor, downtrodden white people who can't seem to cut a break in America. Yeah, if it wasn't, if black people with all this power, we're just so powerful in this country to take away white people's rights and their ability to earn a living. Just garbage, man. What's the worst thing about Tulsi Gabbard is not her. It's the people that support her who are now having to defend this because they couldn't admit that they're wrong. And the people that supported her in the past who will let her slide. And instead of addressing this issue and saying, hey, Tulsi's not who she's probably never who you thought she was. What you'll do is you'll get mad at me, write me letters, unsubscribe to the channel, cancel memberships. That's what happens every time I talk about Tulsi Gabbard. That's what happens every time. Because Tulsi Gabbard's supporters don't give a shit about what she's done. She's so cute. She's so fine. She's beautiful. She's amazing. Yeah, she's also a bigot. Yeah, man, come on, guys. Come on. You don't get to claim that people are being anti-white when they want to give black people work. Come on, man. We're the last hired, first fired. Now, is Lori Lightfoot doing this out of the kindness of her heart? I don't know her heart, but I doubt it. I think, look, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. There's no facts to back this up. But I think this is all done for politics. I feel like Lori Lightfoot is using this as an issue to get some favorable press for a change. She's tired of getting beat up in the press, and she wants some good coverage. And this, though, will incite some anger. Those are people that probably wouldn't support her anyway. I mean, you don't really think Tulsi Gabbard's going to support her. I mean, that wouldn't go over well with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson's fans. So, what do? Throw some red meat to those people and also try to cozy up next to black folks. Gotta get the blacks back on their side. So anyway, guys, it's the 2-year anniversary of Lori Lightfoot's tenure as mayor. One day saying, hey, you haven't been sending us any, how can you have no black women at all? How could no black woman be covering her in the Chicago press corps? None. And I guess that's fine. Because if you say for one day, send me some black people, now you're discriminating against the white people as if they're going to lose their jobs if somebody else gets to do that byline today. It's the same people that said affirmative action was bad because, God forbid, some poor black people got jobs. Anyway, it's sad. It's sad, guys. One last thing. It's very sad that people get their hearts broke this way, man. This is what creates so much animosity in politics, when people that you trusted or believed in let you down this badly, and you can't lie to yourself no more. You can't just go, hey, let me make up an excuse. There's no excuse big enough to cover this up. This is the second one. 50,000 likes, all against black folks. All against people of color. Pandering to the right wing. Come on, guys. Does it take a rocket scientist to know what's next on Tulsi's radar? Know what else is on her radar? Or who's on, Anyway, that's it. It's done. Moving on. Those who will not be convinced will not be convinced. They think nothing's wrong with that. We need to start racializing everything. We do? All right. Oh, gosh. Anyone who thinks we don't need to do something about policing in America is just living under a cinder block. Not living under a rock, your head is full of rocks. Or you're smoking a lot of rocks, and maybe a big rock fell out the sky and hit you in the head. Something rocky. Something. You got rocked. You did 12 rounds with Rocky. I don't know. Something happened. I got a clip here of the Louisiana State Troopers. Body cameras of them beating and suffocating a man, causing the man's death. And then they lied and covered it up, folks. They lied and covered this up. This happened in 2019. The man's name is Ronald Greene. I'm going to show you a clip. I'm going to warn you that it's graphic. There's no blood. There's no bullets. But it's disturbing because they are trying to kill a person. That is what they are trying to do. And that is what they succeed in doing. You don't want to watch it, I understand, but here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm scared. I'm just scared. Get out. I'm scared.
Mr. Greene was, to some degree, even though he had just finished leading police officers on a lengthy and high-speed chase, his inclination at that particular point was to acquiesce to what the officers wanted.
Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back, bitch. Give me your fucking hands. Put your hands behind your back. Taser. Put your hands behind your back. Behind your back. You're about to get it again if you don't put your fucking hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm sorry.
What's problematic for me is that Mr. Greene is now left on the ground, on his stomach, handcuffed in a prone position. And officers are trained throughout the United States that once there's a struggle of this nature, and the individual's handcuffed, that you need to push him off onto his side or get him in a sitting position so you can allow that breathing to be unimpeded by his own body weight.
This guy ain't got fucking AIDS.
And that didn't happen for at least, based on my calculation, 9 minutes, where Mr. Greene was left alone. And then when he wasn't left alone and he tried to get over onto his side, another trooper pushed him down using his foot against the lower back and buttocks of Mr. Greene. And I didn't understand that. There was absolutely no reason for that. Under no circumstances should Mr. Greene have been drugged by his ankle shackles. That was malicious, sadistic, completely unnecessary. And the officer that did it's going to have to be held accountable.
Okay. Now, this arrest once again took place in 2019 outside Monroe, Louisiana. It's the subject of a federal civil rights investigation. You know, the police did not want to give up the body camera footage on this arrest. They've been shrouding it in secrecy, and accusations are being made of a cover-up. Yeah, because they don't want people to know what they did. They killed a man. The Louisiana officials have rebuffed repeated calls to release the footage and details about what caused the 49-year-old Ronald Greene's death. Troopers initially told Greene's family that Greene died on impact. They said, yeah, he hit a tree and he died. You know, right after the chase. How many times do you think police have made up stories about what happens to us? And the family doesn't know any different. They want to put him in the ground and say, you know, and grieve, and they let it go. How often do you think that happens? I think it's rare that a family pushes and pushes and pushes. Now, there's a clip out there. It's 46 minutes. And this was just a partial of that clip. It shows one trooper wrestling Greene to the ground, putting him in a chokehold, punching him in the face, while another can be heard calling him expletives. Greene wails, "I'm sorry," as another trooper delivers another stun gun shock and warns, "Look, you're going to get it again if you don't put your effing hands behind your back." As you can see, a trooper was shown dragging him by his shackles of his ankles. Instead of rendering aid to the troopers leave the heavy-set man unattended face down, moaning for more than 9 minutes. They murdered him. It was set out. It was planned. Greene's mother, Mona Hardin, said, "He didn't have a chance. Ronnie didn't have a chance. He wasn't going to live to tell about it." An attorney for Greene's family, Lee Murray, said the footage had some of the same hallmarks of the George Floyd video. The length of it, the sheer brutality of it. He apologized in an attempt to surrender. Louisiana State Police declined to comment on the content of the video. In the statement, the agency said the premature public release of investigative films and files, blah, 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 makes us look bad, so why'd you release it? The state police initially argued that the troopers' use of force was awful, but lawful. Yeah, it's awful that we abused him. It's awful that we killed him, but it's not against the law that we killed him. It's awful what we did, but it's not unlawful. We do the same thing all the time. He should have been in better shape to take a beating. While noting Greene was not without fault and appeared to resist the trooper's orders, Scott, who is Scott, said dragging the handcuffed man face down by his ankles was malicious, sadistic, and completely unnecessary. That never should have happened. You got the guy completely compromised. He's not hurting anybody. Charles Key, another use of force expert and former Baltimore police lieutenant, questioned the trooper's decision to leave Greene unattended, handcuffed, and prone for several minutes. Called the practice just dead wrong. You don't leave somebody laying on the ground, particularly after you've had this type of fight. The training has been for a number of years that as soon as you get someone under control, you put them on their side to facilitate their breathing. Particularly this guy, because he was very heavy. Oh, boy. At one point, Trooper Coy York yanks Greene's leg shackles and drags the man on his stomach, even though he isn't resisting. York was suspended without pay for 50 hours. 50 hours? Wow! Gee, thanks, Johnson. I wonder if you got him Burger King. York was suspended for 50 hours for dragging and for improperly deactivating his body camera. I wonder what he did when the body camera was off. Oops. My bad. Just going to cut this off real quick. York told investigators the device was beeping loudly and his mind was on other things. You're like beating the shit out of this guy that you chased, who hit a tree. So you're thinking, he should have died on a tree crash. Now I got to fill out paperwork. Let's just kill him. I mean, guys, that sounds flippant. I'm not trying to be flippant, guys. I just think they wanted him to die. So they killed him. That's it. Some cops do that. We got to wake up, live in the real world. We got to stop pretending. Got to own it. They killed this man because they were mad at him. He ran from them, so they killed him. I wonder why he ran from them. Oh, that's right. Because he just likes running. Exactly what caused Greene's death remains unclear. Union Parish Coroner Renee Smith told AP last year his death was ruled accidental and attributed to cardiac arrest. Smith, who was not in his office when the determination was made, said her office file on Greene attributed his death to a car crash. It made no mention of a struggle. So originally, without the body cam footage, they just said he died in a car crash. We don't know what happened. We got to the car, he was dead. We tried our best to resuscitate him. We just couldn't. What do you want from us? And AP, the Associated Press last year also obtained a medical report showing an emergency room doctor noted Greene arrived dead at the hospital, bruised and bloodied with two stun gun prongs in his back. That led the doctor to question Trooper's initial account that Greene had died on impact after crashing into a tree. It doesn't add up, the doctor wrote. Yeah, why would you stun a person 2 times who was dead? Yeah. I wonder how many times it's been happening forever, guys. People ask and say, look, you think it's happening more now? We're just catching it on film. I think we're just catching it on film, Johnson. It's just been exposed more. That's all it is. It's just been exposed more now than ever before. That is it. That is all. It's probably worse back then. It's probably worse 50 years ago. Just your word against theirs? Come on. They do this brazenly with cameras. Just cut the cameras off. Cut the cameras back on. Lie on the reports. Other officers lie as well. Everyone just lies. Think they just started doing this last week? Nah, it's just getting caught more often and being publicized more often. And we got a news cycle that's crazy because we got so much footage. We got to know where to put it all. That's what's different. That is all that's different. If these officers don't go to jail, what I'm going to say? What am I going to threaten something? There's nothing to threaten them with. We got a legal system that protects them. I support the campaign to end qualified immunity. Go to the campaign to end qualified immunity.org. If they take out ending qualified immunity out of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, what good is it? Because these are the type of actions that don't have anything to do with what? Militarized equipment. That's part of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Militarized equipment, body cameras. They had body cameras. They cut them off, they cut them on, they cut them off, they cut them on. But they had them. What else? No knock warrants. There's no knock warrants here. So that's why you need qualified immunity to be reeled in or abolished, deleted, removed, get rid of it. Because they can kill you without using military equipment. They killed him with shackles and his own body weight laying on his face. Because they had to chase him. They were mad when they chased him. That's it. That's all. That is it. That is all, Johnson. It's just cold-blooded murder. Last but not least, before we go to phone calls, Johnson, I got an email. No, a DM. I got a DM from a friend of the show. Man, I see me up and said, Tim, we lost another great comedian, man. Oh, man. Paul Mooney, folks. Paul Mooney. Great comedian. One of the good ones. Brave as hell. His own point of view. His own style. Just totally, he did it his way, and he never took a back seat. He didn't compromise with bullshit. He didn't give in to the establishment. He just told his story, man. That's what he did, and that's his point of view. Was always clear where Paul Mooney stood on an issue. And there are times when I'm doing this show and I'm speaking boldly, I think of Paul Mooney. I think, what would Paul Mooney do? Would he say the nice thing to make people feel better? Or would he say his truth? Would he say what he believed, or would he be funny, but still be biting with his wit? Yes, that's what Paul Mooney would do. He would not cut a corner to spare your damn feelings. Paul Mooney died at the age of 79 from an apparent heart attack in his home. And he's going to be so missed, man. So missed. I was watching some tributes to Paul Mooney, and a lot of comedians were saying how they were inspired by him. How he made them more brave to tell their stories and to be funny in different ways. For the record, I'd like to list some of the shows that Paul Mooney wrote for. Sanford and Son, Good Times, The Richard Pryor Show, In Living Color, Homie the Clown, Chappelle Show, SNL, Real Husbands of Hollywood. Paul Mooney will go down in history as one of the great stand-up comedians, great writers, and a character all his own, a personification of I don't give a damn. Take it or leave it, white people. This is how I feel. This is what I think. I don't even know if America would allow there to be a new Paul Mooney, man. They would. The algorithm would ruin this guy. Can you imagine it? He'd be canceled every time he spoke. It'd be somebody, boy, I can hear Tulsi Gabbard now. You can't say that. You're being racist towards white people. You're going to stop them from getting jobs, and they're not going to be able to live where they want to live because of you. Yeah, okay. I know I'm going to miss Paul Mooney. And I didn't even know the guy, and I'm going to miss him. Just knowing he was out there. Just knowing he was there. Just in the sheer, like, every once in a while I'll be doing something on this show, guys. And I would think, man, damn, man, maybe Paul heard what I said. Every once in a while he would like a tweet of mine, you know. We follow each other on Twitter. And I've been begging, like, Paul, come on the show, man. Come on the show. And then when he got sick, I was like, well, let me call you for 20 minutes, man. Just, you know, and he would never come on the show. But in my own mind, right, I would be able to play this fantasy out like, yo, Paul knows I'm out here doing my thing because he liked to tweet. Recently, the Micaiah Bryant story. He liked one of my comments on that. And then I liked one of his comments. We were talking about it online, on Twitter. And just every once in a while, guys, I was just in my, you know, just so I can deal with some of the crap I think I got to deal with to do this show, to have a point of view that I think is very unique for the space that I'm in, right? That doesn't kowtow the Democrats, but also doesn't mess with the Republican Party. Who calls out police and white supremacy and all this bullshit, but then doesn't let people like Lloyd Lightfoot just skate by, pandering to us on some bullshit. It's a very unique place to be, you know? And I would just think, Paul knows what I'm doing. Paul knows. Well, he still knows. And I know he got other shit to be worrying about, you know? But, or he used to have other stuff to worry about. He up there with Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and they having a good joke, a laugh. That's it, folks. To the great Paul Mooney. Rest in power, King. Rest in power. All right, Tim Black. It's enough. I heard you the first time. You Negroes don't know when to stop. Heard you first time when you said it. I saw a little tweet. I'm going to come on your show for. I liked your tweets. That's good enough. Now just get back to doing your show. Piss them off. We'll be right back after this with phone calls, ladies and gentlemen. Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. All right, we're back in the house, man. That's what's up. That is what's up, Johnson. That's what's up. We are back in the house. Yeah. Hey, guys, you want to hear something funny? Somebody in my comment section, they just gave me a compliment. They said, Tim Black has lost weight. You want to hear something funny about that? Okay. Actually, I lost weight a month ago, or weeks ago. Like, it's just depending on what I wear because my clothes are a little big. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really tell. Check this out. So this is funny. I'm going to go to phone calls, but this is funny, right? So during the time I was covering the George Floyd case, actually before that, I started doing intermittent fasting, which is where you don't eat for a long stretch of time. You eat within a window. So I would go 12 to 16, 17, 18 hours without eating, and then I could eat. I could eat like twice or whatever, right? I have a window where I could eat, you know, within that period. So doing that, I lost maybe like 5-6 pounds. Then I was doing like a lot of water. I started doing this thing. I had an app that try to get you to drink all this water every day. So I was doing these things, right? And I was going for walks. I was doing all this stuff. And then I started covering the George Floyd case, and I started getting stressed out, and I didn't realize it. And that stress, instead of eating, I ate less. So I ended up like only eating once a day, exercising, and drinking water. And then I started losing weight, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was losing. And then one day I'm like, God, I lost 15 pounds. I thought something was wrong because it's so hard for me to lose weight. And I wasn't really like working out. I wasn't doing P90X, nothing like that. But just going for walks and drinking water and not eating fast food, sugar, and any of that stuff, like cut all that stuff out, right? But I really was worried. And part of the thing, when I went to the doctor, I was like, they're like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, well, you know, I'm having congestion and this is going on, that's going on. I said, but you know, I'm concerned about all these things. And plus, I lost 15 pounds in a month. And they were like, okay. And I'm expecting the doctor to be like, oh, you did? We need to, you know, are you okay? They were just like, okay. So, like, if you stop eating junk food and drink a lot of water and get off your ass and don't sit in front of the computer like I do every day, yeah, you can lose 15 pounds. And I've kept it off, Johnson, because I still don't hardly eat any fast food, and I still try to drink as much water as possible. And I think maybe I'll gain back 2 pounds, but that's the most I've gained back. So give it up for stumbling into a diet that's just doesn't have a lot of extra sugar. Oh, I also cut out extra salt. Salt, sugar, fried foods, fast food. That's it. That's my secret. All right. Now, you know, it is what it is. All right, I know people are like, I didn't want to know about that. Some people might help somebody. That's all you got to do. That's all I had to do. I still got more work to do, Johnson. I need to lose another 40 pounds. All right, 619. 619, you're alive. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
All right, 619. 619, you're alive. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
I'm good. Who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Who's
this is Steve from San Diego. There's like, what, I don't know, 50,000 police departments in the country. And, there isn't enough time to change them all, going at them individually. And I guess this is not proud of admitting this, but I was watching the thing with that's going on in Israel and all that, and I mean I know I know how bad it is, and I've always believed that, but I guess it's white privilege. But I thought, the police, and there's not too many other words as powerful as the word war. But the police, they're waging war and have been. It's war on black people. I mean, it's that bad. That's not too strong of a word. And I mean, it's just this with Ronald Greene. It's just. I mean, who are these people? What kind of scum are they? I mean, it's so terrible. And that guy that got pepper sprayed in his car, the lieutenant, the police chief could have just said nothing at all. But instead he said, he's not getting any apology from me. So I don't care how much you have it on camera and film and all that. That's not going to do much. There was a big win with George Floyd, but I still say, we got to keep electing, try and get people like Nina Turner, there's only one Nina Turner, but, the Justice Democrat, that kind of thing. But you got to keep working towards that. But, that's going to happen too slow too. And so I really just keep coming back to the whole thing. It's got to be like a relay team or something, blocking roads into downtowns across cities. And, really have a schedule. I'll go between 12 and 6. When I leave, then you take my place. You only got 2 hours. Okay, you go from 6 until 8. But, again, change comes from the bottom up, and you're fighting against all the corporate money raining on all the politicians. And it's really up to all of us people. I can't see it any other way. And, the first time I started listening to you, I somewhere along the line, I saw a picture of you with a child, and I assumed it was your wife. And no, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was your child. And then, you mentioned bits about your personal life and all that. And when I first started listening to you, I thought, oh God, maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the one that can get this going. And but I mean, you're a busy guy. You've got wife and kids and grandkids and all that. And by the way, good for your weight loss.
Thank you, brother.
I'm just throwing that in there too because I just lost some weight. But anyway, that's my thing. I mean, I'm just like a recurring nightmare. But I really think that's the deal. I think it's just got to come down to everybody. You're good for 20 hours a week. This week you can only do an hour and a half, and just block downtowns. I mean, they can't arrest everybody, and if there's enough people. So that's my thought, and I can't. That's how I think it could. What it's going to take, So anyway.
Hey.
Thanks.
Hey, well, thank you, Steve, for calling in, man. I appreciate it, and man, I wish I knew the answer to it. I wish I did, man, because I mean, I want police reform. I want Medicare for all. Damn it, man, it's a grocery list, right? Right? Cheaper pharmaceuticals, right? Like it's so many, And it's like, what's it gonna take to get these things done? We just want what other countries have. You know? I appreciate your sentiments about the police, man, that it's what's that? Is it Florida where they could just run over protesters? Yeah, we got something for that. We just run over protesters now. You're in the roads, you get run over. No problem. So this is a perfect example of where when I say both parties suck, I don't mean they're both the same. Okay? Because that's a pretty bad policy. Right? I'm going to go to the next call, guys. I'm going to go to the next call. That was 619. 559, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Brother Tim, it's Brother Eric. How you doing?
Eric, what's going on, guy?
Oh, boy, just a little bit after tax season, still not as hot and heavy, but not as quiet as I would have thought. But anyhow, wanted to call in and address another thing that seems to be a lot of misconceptions over, and that's inflation. And people who are watching the corporate media, they've probably seen screams of, oh, inflation, oh my God. And then, well, let's look at this. So what are they talking about when they talk about inflation? Like, are the prices of things going up? Yes, but see, what is inflation? Inflation is a general rise in prices of all things over time. That's what inflation is. Now, when you have prices, things getting more expensive, because there are, there's lumber. I mean, if you got people in the building trades, can't really get lumber, can't really get a lot of things. But see, does that mean like, oh my God, the sky's falling and we're going to end up like the Weimar Republic? No. Was there a pandemic? Yes. Did that cause a supply shortage of a lot of things? You bet your life it did. Because the people that did stay home, or that were able to stay home, that had money, they spent that money. They said, you know what? Let's put that addition on the house that we were always thinking about. Maybe let's build a new deck. Let's renovate. And they basically bought up all the materials. And when you have supply chain disruptions like we've had lately, that's kind of normal. Is that going to normal itself out? I actually think so. And then things are going to start to return to normal. But then now what's happening? Well, what's happening is they're saying, well, see, that's why we can't raise wages. That's why we can't do any of the things that would create more consumers. Or would that make guys like you and me that aren't on the 20th floor a little bit better off? And that's the thing. I mean, one of the things that I've told a number of people is that, one of the biggest, because I think what we talked about before, oh yeah, they're not incentivized to work and this and that. Well, what's a good incentive to get somebody to come to work for you? Raise their wages. That would be another thing. I mean, it's just kind of simple, right? So, well, it's nobody, but you don't hear people talking about that. Oh, gee, that'd be another one. But what they're trying to do now, it's almost like a different next level union busting. See, they're trying to force people. See, it's what you see what's happening in a lot of these Republican-run states. They're trying to eliminate the benefits, right? Well, that's kind of union busting, isn't it? Because what mechanism do they have? There's no unions anymore. In fact, I mean, people want to do their analysis with this whole inflation nonsense based on what happened in the 70s. That's one thing. If you want to get technical with it, has the central bank or has the Fed met a single inflation target? It's 2%, 2% inflation target, right? Have they met it? The answer is no. They haven't. They have not. So what is it are we talking about? When you go to a lot of these Republicans that want to get rid of benefits, what's that doing? You're trying to force people to go accept shitty wages, and that's bullshit. But then you tie it back to inflation. Are there unions like there was in the 70s where everybody wants a lot of these guys? Well, see, look what happened in the 70s. It got stagflation and this and that. yes, that was a very interesting and very real time. How many of the mechanisms do we have in place from that time? We're in a different world. We're in a different world even from 2020, the end of 2019 to now, even the beginning of this year to now. It's a different analysis. So let's not get fooled by, because who's it really affecting? What does inflation really affect? It affects these rich assholes because it's like they don't want to give up anything. Inflation is almost, you can consider it a redistribution, a redistributive mechanism where, it's like people that bought houses, the baby boomer generation. When you have let's say like a 3 or 4% fixed rate mortgage and inflation's at 7%, well, the bank's eating the money. The bank's eating the loan. You're able to pay that. Oh, that's good for you. Jesus, that's real money. That's a real gain on your behalf. And they're trying to negate that. So let's be a little bit nuanced. It's almost the age of nuance. So and let's not get fooled. So hopefully that makes sense. And let's just keep trying to make it happen day to day, man.
Hey. All right, Brother Eric, man, I appreciate the phone call, man. These rich folks don't want to, they don't want us to peep game, Eric, right? They want us to stay they want to gaslight us into oblivion. Meanwhile, covering their own tracks. So that's a good point, man. Excellent point. And I like what you said about how things have changed just in the last year. I mean, we've never been through this before. There are people that have different reactions to what's happening right now. And I don't have everything all figured out. But that's just day by day, we try to figure out what's the right thing to do. I didn't like the pandemic. I didn't ask for it. No one asked for it. I don't like what's going on now, the recovery from the pandemic we're trying to do or whatever this is. I don't like that either. But it ain't about what I like. It's about what's going on right now and the reality of the world as we know it right now. So we do the best we can with where we are. 252, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey! What the? I gotta come on earlier. This is a TikTok dance joint. Hello? Jeez, that's Mugabe. That's a TikTok. My granddaughter's like, they were doing TikTok dances, man. Somebody tell these kids, them dances they're doing TikTok, they're not really dances. They're mimes. What is this? All right, next call, 949. 949, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yes, my name is Cameron. I'm actually a first-time caller and a first-time listener. I was hearing you talk about, excuse me, that there's so much big money in politics. Either you or the caller was saying it, and I just felt like I needed to jump on and say that I really do think there's a new alternative now. And if you want to check it out, it's called goodparty.org, trying to basically elevate non-big money independent politicians. And I think your audience would love it, and I think you would love it as well.
All right, brother. Well, okay. Well, there we go. Goodparty.org, man. Okay. So basically, what you're doing, Johnson, is you're calling up promoting. No one respects us, Johnson. Hey, I heard about your show, and I heard you take phone calls and you don't screen, and I can call up and promote something for free on your show. Yeah. Yeah. Left that part out, Johnson. Don't say that, Tim. You're being mean to the caller. No, he's being mean to me. How about that? It's using me. All right, guys. What a night, Johnson. What a night. What a night. What a night. It's like a short night, Johnson. Yeah, looks like a short night, Johnson. I don't know. Is it? Is this a short night? Anybody else want to call in? Anybody else got any? Because I don't know what's going on here. I would talk, but I'm wondering if I got anything else to talk about. This is a strange night, Johnson. This is a strange night. Look, I was like saying, oh man, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's Jesus Christ, guys. I'll tell you, it's something strange to see. Shelty, Christy be talking. Alex. Okay. Look. Wolfpack members, all my Wolfpack members in green, thank you so much for being here. Guys, become a member of the Wolfpack. You can do that on YouTube, or you can do that on Patreon. I got amazing people that are joining this show. 360, I'm going to go to 360. 360, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Man, what is going on with the phones? 252?
Hello?
Hey, 252.
Hi.
Hey, I could have sworn I tried to bring you in earlier.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead, Kara.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. This is Kara. I was calling because I really was kind of disappointed with Tulsi Gabbard and her comments today. I thought that was really, low. She's not even a white person, but yet you're standing up and you're making it seem like, people are too critical of white people. And in this country, are you serious? It just seemed really just cheap and unnecessary. And just kind of made me feel like, I'm really glad that she didn't get further in the presidential election as she did last year, because she's full of crap. So, I just thought that was very peculiar, that after all of the stuff that's happened, you haven't come out and said anything or anything else, but here you are talking about this one situation. It's just, for me, it was just kind of like a slap in the face, and, I was done with her. I'd been done with her anyways when she stepped back from Medicare for All. So, I definitely am happy that Nina is still in the running and doing well and getting some really great endorsements. I'm keeping an eye on her situation because you know how elections get fumbled out here, and I really hope that she does win. You know, maybe she'll be the spokesperson, I guess, for the squad, because when you look at, you know, a lot of the votes lately that they've been doing, I don't know. It's been like really out of whack and out of character, even with some of the most progressive in the group, like Rashida Tlaib. I was really shocked by her voting present in this last, with the police reform bill. I thought that was really just out of character for her, especially saying that she supports, you know, the whole police reform and going further and saying that, you know, she wants us to, as a country, support police reform. And I just didn't understand what her vote was. But that's just me. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for letting me speak.
Problem at all. Thank you for calling up. I appreciate it. What the hell, man? You know, they voted, I think it was Rashida Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, AOC. They voted present. What was the issue? What's the issue, guys? I saw this, man. I saw it, and I said, you know, I don't want to. Well, you know what? Someone in the comments section knows. Damn, bro. Damn, I can't remember. Anyway, whatever maybe someone on Facebook knows. Anybody on Facebook know what I'm talking about? What they vote present on? Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, family, on Facebook? I appreciate you. What they vote present on? Was it police reform or was it something else? I know it was something. People were coming up. I don't know what it was. The effort with me, Johnson. No more callers. Suzanne got mad. Suzanne's mad. Yeah, they try and give it to me. I don't know. Trump's impeachment? It was something, guys. Damn it, I don't know what it was. But anyway, there's something that had a lot of people disappointed on Twitter, I saw. That they voted president on, they didn't vote against it or for it. And I don't know what it was, but I guess I have to find out. You think it was police reform and Capitol security? Give it up for that person. Chrissy be talking. That's what it was. It was an increase in the bill. It was an increase in Capitol security. That's it, Chrissy. And some people on the right, I don't know who it was. Okay, I'm not gonna say it was on the right. Could have been on the left. Who cares where it was from? Anyway, some of the criticism was, so you want to reform the police, you want to defund the police, but then you want to fund the Capitol Police. And like, I need someone. Now, you know I've been supportive of Jamal Bowman and Rashida Tlaib and AOC. I still hold out hope on AOC. I think she's still a great force for good. I think she can be. And I know some people are going to disagree. I get it. We just have to disagree. I'm going to use all the people I can to help the people that need the most help. But I'm going to try to get Jamal Bowman on the show to talk about this. I want to know, because I want to hear his side of the story. When I last talked to Jamal Bowman, I had the impression that he's the type of person that'll talk to you about an issue. So I like to give him that opportunity, and find out what the response is on that. So anyway, that's what it was. That was the criticism. Hey, you want to increase policing at the Capitol, but you want to defund policing around the country. the insurrection didn't teach us anything? Like that's, I don't know, right? Now that is about the Capitol security. Are we afraid the Capitol Police are beating up and shooting Congress members? Like that's not, I don't know, it's still a police force, right? But isn't their job a little bit different than the job of, say, the Minnesota Police Department? Isn't it a little bit different? I don't know. I know who said it. Glenn Greenwald said it. That's who said it, guys. That's who made the comment. That's who made the comment. Got it? And you're right. That's what I think. I think Jamal Bowman would give a very frank answer. Now, in my opinion, like just based on this is just my opinion, guys. I think that there's going to be a different. They're going to differentiate between the Capitol Police protecting the U.S. Capitol based on what happened January 6th and random police forces around the country. I think they see those as different entities. And they didn't vote for it. They didn't vote for it. They didn't vote. Get it? All right. So I'm gonna go here to the next call. I got a couple more calls in the queue. And one of my callers said this person sounded like they had sleep apnea. Hey, look, guys, sleep apnea is no joke. So the caller we heard the breathing, that's no joke. And I don't mean to make fun of that if that's what that was. I thought someone was just snoring. People snore. Right? Like, people snore. Anyway, I wasn't looking at it like it was sleep apnea. But we don't know who it was, and I'm not exposing them. We don't know who it was. Hopefully they're okay. I kind of thought somebody was just pranking me at first. That's what I thought it was the first time. I'm going to go next call. 360. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What they vote president?
360?
Mike, how you doing, family, on Facebook? I appreciate you. What they vote president on? Was it police reform or was it something else?
All right, 561. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Ty from South Florida.
Ty, what's up, buddy? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Good,
Tulsi Gabbard hadn't made sense to me in a long, long time. I mean, she endorsed Biden when she dropped out of the primary before the primaries were even over. And that piece of paper you got to sign, I mean, that's for when the party actually picks or has actually decided on the nominee, not before. You don't have to sign up for a specific person while there's still other candidates in the race for the primary. So why is she endorsing Joe Biden instead of Bernie Sanders when the past 4 years she claimed to be this progressive candidate? It didn't make any sense to me. And then she hooks up, with one of those other, I'm going to put them in air quotes, progressive commentators for the campaign. And it just exemplified more that she is drifting further and further and further away from having any sort of connection to the actual working class, because that guy over there ain't got no connection to the working class. Whenever he makes jokes, he completely shows that he doesn't know what he's talking about, and just is using these issues to try to make a quick buck instead of really fighting for something that's going to make positive change in people's lives. So, I'm glad that there's the Nina Turners out there, and I'm glad that there's shows like yours that, really have a connection to the working class person. Somebody that can, instead of praising Tucker Carlson, show that he is out there taking the mantle and showing the racist how to get their racist ideas and rhetoric on TV in a double speak kind of way that furthers that racist agenda that he's got. it's just what it is with Tucker Carlson. You know, and a lot of progressives want to look at him as the quote truth teller on Fox News. Like it doesn't make any sense. You know, anybody that is really fighting for the working class in this country should automatically realize that the type of doublespeak they use to keep black people down is going to be, they're going to follow the same template when they try to further expand this into working class, you know, and use the same tactics that they did for the last, 400 years against people of color in this country, specifically black people. And, I'm getting a little rambling. I lost my notes here. Didn't get a chance to write them down, but, Tulsi Gabbard, I've been finished with her for a long time. And I think the Progressive Party needs to take a good long look at who's giving them their news and why they're giving them the news. So thanks a lot, Tim.
Thank you, Sal, for the comment, brother. I appreciate you, fam. You know that. You know what's up, brother. I feel the same way. I said, look, I saw too many men making comments about her looks. What the hell does what she look like have to do with her politics? Dog, I'm just saying, like, for real? Oh, this person obviously fell for her because she's so fine. She's so beautiful. First of all, that's very subjective. Obviously, I prefer women of a darker complexion. That's just me. But that's subjective. But we're talking about politics, public servants, policies. What's wrong with you? Like, I thought that was, and really that's sexist as hell. At least say, make up a policy that she supports. At least do that. Don't relegate it to just something that's frivolous. Looks are fleeting, Johnson. Age comes for us all. And so does French fries and Twinkies and cupcakes and... All right, we'll go next call if I can find them. 512, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Sophia from Austin.
What's going on, Sophia?
So I saw Jim Crow Joe sign his little crime bill, and oh my gosh, he was like a child on Christmas. He was just absolutely giddy inside. I mean, it was sad, but it was kind of funny, honestly, just because of how I don't know how much lower he can dig himself at this point. But, he made some gas, of course. It seems like he's been doing that lately, but I honestly think, and I know a lot of people say he's all like, he's gone, he's senile. But I honestly think that they've been giving him some sort of like experimental Alzheimer's treatment, because he's pretty with it. Yeah, I'll be honest. But when he was asked about Israel today, I mean, he did his, normal non-answer. And especially when he was asked about UFOs, he said something, real smart ass to the reporter. But then the best part is when he walked off stage, CNN kind of panned out from where he was, and they were just talking. But you could see Biden right behind some dude that was standing in the way, but you could still see Biden enough to where you could see him. I mean, he just started having a meltdown with some reporter. It was like watching some old man yell at a cloud, but, the real life version of that metaphor. And I mean, I'm just really concerned with the whole Israel situation, like I've said before, because he really does go back to Netanyahu like 40 years at least. And all the way in 1976, Netanyahu was working for Boston Consulting Group. So, like here in the United States, when Jim Crow Joe was on the Foreign Affairs Committee. So it's a little convenient that Netanyahu started to get into politics during this time, and that's over here. He started over here as an ambassador, and I think he did something else even before that. So, I mean, if someone's your friend longer than they've even been a prime minister, I wonder how this prime minister has been able to stay in power despite all of the crimes that are on record that they've committed. And so, in response to Bernie and AOC's resolution, he said that, he's not listening to them because, he's not going to listen to socialists. And it gets honestly much, much worse from there. But and I'm probably going too long. So good night, Tim. Thanks for staying up with all of us and, having to endure all the craziness that you endured. Thankfully, it wasn't actually that bad tonight. I think some people don't know how bad it's gotten. Oh, that one time that someone, they said the N-word, and I think they, threatened to kill you. It was pretty dark that day.
Yeah.
But, night, Tim. Peace out.
All right, Sister Sophia, the resident Joe Biden expert. Yes. Look, Sophia, I know that. I know that's not what you want to be known for, but Sophia does so much digging on Joe Biden, man, and she has really become an encyclopedia on Joe Biden. And she can't stand him, but she knows so much about him due to her coverage. So I want to thank her for that. And thanks for the kind words, Sophia, as well. Let me go find 608. 608, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey.
Hey, Tim. It's Octavius in Wisconsin, Dustin Bins.
All right. What's going on?
Hey, I have a lot of questions, but first I want to do some shout-outs, of course, to Nina Turner. Much love for Nina Turner. She is so awesome, such a wonderful person, and I really want to see her get to Congress. And, of course, second to Mark Pocan in Wisconsin, because he's been such a great champion for fighting for working class people. And of course, Wolfpack, because you gotta always show love with the Wolfpack. All right, I couldn't decide which of the questions I want to ask, but I think the most important one is, how do you feel that the gold standard, or leaving the gold standard, has affected Black families?
All right, how do I feel about leaving the gold standard? How it's affected Black families?
Yeah, because I asked Telltale before about this, and I heard his opinion, and so I just thought maybe I'll ask someone else's opinion to see what they think of that.
I don't know, brother. I never considered it.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then my other one is pretty short too. What do you how do you think is the best way to deal with racism in general? Because, okay, to put it this way, you have some, and it's very difficult for me to say it because, I'm a white person, but for Black people who don't want to act supposedly like the N-word, and that attitude that they have to be the good ones,
That's weird, brother. I feel like you mean well, brother.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be bad or racist. I'm just not a very good communicator. So, I'm on the autism spectrum. So my communication skills ain't great.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand.
That's what I'm trying to say is,
I'm just trying to understand your question, brother.
Like, is
yeah.
Okay, so is dealing with that, could that be a way to help with the issue? Because we have to know who's on our side. For the people that want to say, well, you know, you can't act like that because you have to, you know, integrate. You know, that's the term that people like Tucker Carlson uses. You know, and it's
Gotcha.
like, how do we deal with that?
Got you, brother. Look.
That's what I meant to say.
I got you, Octavius. But look, man, I'm going to try to answer that question because I think I got a better grasp of that question. Give it up for Octavius. And let me try to answer that.
Okay.
No problem, brother. And thanks for supporting the show and thanks for calling up, man. So, you know, man, you know when you know, I gotta say this. Black people will have equality in this country. We can be just as mediocre as white people. When black people can be just as mediocre and still have rights. No one looks at a trailer park type person, or no disrespect to trailer park people. My brother owned a trailer park and it was pretty nice. Hell, there's some people in my family wish they had trailer parks right now. But you know what I'm saying? The stereotypes. Like there are stereotypes of white people that don't impact all white people. Right? They just say these are white people, these are these types of white people. These are these types of white people. And these are these types of, there's like all these different types of white people. And they never look at one white person and say that one white person speaks for all white people. Rush Limbaugh did not speak for all white people. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's when we'll have real equality. Because then they won't say, this one black person who looks like this or did this thing is making all black people look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because they will allow black people to be as nuanced, as different, and different, varied as white people. And when we get to the point where individuals are individuals, then then that's equality for all of us. And we're a long ways away from that, man. But that was sort of like the co-confrontation between Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass. This respectability politics. Like if you act this way, it'll be better for everyone. If you act this way, and they always remember, man, back in the 60s, they were sicking dogs on black men in three-piece suits. They were hitting black men with suits in the back of the head with billy clubs. They didn't care. And now you hear people make comments, pull your pants up. You're making us all look bad, Pookie. Come on, Pookie, pull your pants up. Come on. I'm Barack Obama. Pull your pants up. Get to stepping. Let's get in there. Hey, I'm Barack Obama. Come on. And like, it doesn't matter. I mean, we just talked, somebody brought it up about the police, the active military person who they pepper sprayed. For no reason, they didn't have to pepper spray that guy. They knew he was military. He didn't have warrants, even if he did have warrants. He didn't have warrants. He had nothing. It said he was driving too fast. He pulls over in a place with lights for his own safety, and they're threatening to beat him up and do all this stuff to him. And then they pepper spray him because they just could. Then they threaten him some more. Like, it doesn't matter. He's military. He's got the gear on. They didn't care. So it's not about, racism is not about respectability politics. Nobody cares. If a person is racist, they don't care about how nice you are. I worked in the professional field for several years. Shirt, tie, suit, whole thing. I did that for a long time, Johnson. I thought it took me a place. This place called No More Nigger. Like, no more nigger. And it just took me a place where it was other black folks who was trying to get to that place, but that place don't exist. And even when I was around very successful black people, they all had the same stories. You know what I'm saying? That place don't exist. And I don't care if you're rich or famous, or whether it's YouTube famous or real famous, like Hollywood famous. You are who you are in this country. So, nah, I don't think that's the solution, brother. The solution is to have penalties for companies that don't hire black folks. Have penalties for companies that discriminate. Have penalties for police that kill us. It's like, that's the only way. Because you're never going to get rid of racism totally. All you can do is punish it. That's it. So anyway, thank you for the phone call, Octavius, my brother. And thank you, man, for having the heart to make that call, man. And I know it's not easy talking on phone calls. Hell, I've been doing this so long, but if I was trying to be perfect, I'd never get through a show. So I learned, don't try to be perfect, just say it. Because people love you, warts and all. So just say it. It doesn't matter. You did a good job. Appreciate you clarifying your question. 780, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, it's Mike Marks here from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. How's it going?
What's up, Mike? What's happening, brother?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Second time calling here. I signed up on Patreon a while ago, and I just want to speak up to or comment on. I caught the show a little late there, but I comment on the reporters complaining about the reversed racism, and I kind of find it a joke too sometimes. Especially when people say, "Oh, I don't see color." Well, okay, I'm a white person, and I like to do my best not to do and say racist things, of course. But of course, it doesn't matter where you, black or white, you sometimes just catch yourself off guard and say something stupid, do something stupid. But as long as, you do your best to live a good life, right? But when people are saying something like that, it's like, just by noticing it, that it's just a whole bunch of different people, obviously just negatifies what people are saying, "Oh, I don't see color." Well, obviously you do then. Now, for me, sometimes these things just go over my head, realizing it's nothing but Asians as reporters, or nothing as black people as reporters. Sometimes those kind of little details, they just go right over my head, and I don't even catch it or realize it. That's just because, as I say, sometimes I'm just a little naive or stupid. I don't catch these things right away. Sometimes I catch it a little later on, and it's just because somebody says it. And you know what? It shouldn't matter. So the party or whoever was running a media thing there, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. People get offended by the stupidest things sometimes. And the other thing I want to talk about, and I think it came up from a caller there, is when it comes to inflation and so forth. I think that what it is, one of the problems is when you got people run big businesses, they don't realize, some of them don't realize how bad some people have it. Now, I was bored one day on my break there, and I was catching a quick little video there, a clip there of Undercover Boss. And this was an American owner of a sports shop there. And he went into the shop there, and there was a young black lady there, was training him and everything, and was going into their stories. And he said his makeup story, and then she told her his then. And when she told him that she was living with 3 kids in a homeless shelter, I thought for sure he was going to lose it and just tell him who he was right away. Because I just could see in his eyes like that it just killed him. The people who are running businesses sometimes are just so freaking out of touch. They don't realize these little pennies and dimes
90
that
seconds.
they throw at us sometimes, they don't do shit for us. Pardon my French, because really they don't. Like, I've been working for a company for 13, 14 years. To only have gone up a total of maybe $2 in those 13, 15 years, that's nothing. I started paying house taxes. It was $2,000 a year. It's up to $3,100 this year. And that's the same amount of time I was telling you how I started that job.
60 seconds.
It just, the way things change with the pay scale. They're not paying me that much more every year. I'm lucky I get a nickel to 10 cents. Friends and family, like, oh, just get a different job. I love my job, just like you love your job, right? Why should I quit just because I'm getting a little shortchanged sometimes, or I feel like it, you know? The only way I've been getting increased is because of commission. So that means I have to work that much harder to get it. You know, honestly, I could just go on about stuff like this. It drives me mad. And one crazy thing that they done in our province here, our premier for our province, when they got elected in, they give tax breaks to the big oil companies, $3 to $5 billion, and that could be a little wrong off the number, but it was in the billions of dollars. Of course, we got into deeper in debt for our spending for the province, which meant they're going to have to cut it somewhere. So they cut out new hospital being built. They cut out a whole bunch of other social services that were in place before there. So, of course, those didn't work. And then the COVID came along and made it even worse then. So the oil industry is even slower now in Alberta here. So what do they do now? What's their bright-ass idea here now to get jobs going in this province? Oh, any company that hires somebody for a salary of $100,000 a year or more gets a break. They'll get a compensation from the province, $25,000, as long as that person's working for them for a whole year. Well, shit, that must be pretty nice. Why couldn't they just give some of us folk here who are earning a little less here a bigger tax break then, or basically no taxes then maybe? I swear and the dumbasses that keep voting them in here in this province, as just a freaking joke, some of the people. They just love getting their ass kicked sometimes. You know, just when they think they're down, let's just get beat up some more. But
Wow, brother.
I had to just get some of those things and let you know, Canada, America, we got some of the same problems here. And that's why I enjoy listening to your show. And what's missing in America and the starting to happen here in Canada is real investigative journalism. And you're one of those people who are doing your job there. And until you guys get investigative journalism going again, more independent like this, again, these problems that we're all talking about ain't going to change because the big corporate guys are keeping all this stuff silent from us. So that's why I had to donate and join to Patreon and give you money to keep this show going.
Damn, brother. Thank you, Mike
thanks
Marks.
for listening to me.
Thank you, Mike Marks from Alberta. My brother. Alberta, Canada in the house, man. Damn, as you were talking, Mike, all I could think was, yep, sounds like America. Just like Compton. Just like Compton. Feel like DJ Quick. Damn, brother. For instance, and to your point, Mike Marks, to your point, brother, even in my criticism of those folks who criticized the mayor for saying for one day, on the anniversary of my mayorship, I want to highlight that there are no black people covering me on one-on-one interviews. That there is no black women at all in that press corps. So for one day, I'm going to give my private one-on-one interviews with people of color. And then when they said that, they got their butts they got something up their butts when she said that. Notice that in my coverage of that, Mike, I don't know if you know because you might maybe tuned in late, I criticize those who criticized her, but also criticize her too. For one, I think she did it before publicity. But besides that, there are other things to be critical of Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Mayor of Chicago, about. My thing is, of all the things you could criticize her for, why pick this? Yeah, why pick this? I mean, I've had conversations with people all over the internet about Lori Lightfoot, people in Chicago. They got a lot of other criticisms about her. They're very valid. Not about this one day that she wants some media attention brought to an issue that's an issue that no one can deny. So you can't be nuanced. And you could say, Tulsi Gabbard, for one, who wanted to make this an issue, and she got she was trending on Twitter. Why are you talking about Tulsi Gabbard? She's trending. She's trending. It wasn't intentional. She intended to trend. That's why she used race. You know, the thing she says, we use too much. She used race to trend. But also, I could criticize Lori Lightfoot. Because Lori Lightfoot could have did this without even saying anything. Why she had to announce? As a reporter from the Chicago Sun-Times says, mayors always choose who do their one-on-one reporting. You can make that choice at any time. She did not have to publicize it. Now, the question is, did Lori Lightfoot publicize the need for more black reporters because she wants to help black reporters? Or did she do it because she wants to get reelected and she needs to endear herself more to the black community because she's not doing so well? I don't know. Now, if we talk to some people from Chicago, maybe we'd find that out. Or at least we get a qualified statement about that. You know what I'm saying? So, look, man, I try my best to call it out and to investigate and to keep it straight with my audience. There are very few saints and there are very few devils. Most people are gradations or you know, of each. Have good and bad. Good and bad comes in a cake batter. Like it's good and bad in all people, typically. I'm going next call though, guys. I got an 808 number. Oh, I had an 808. Now I have a 360. 360, you're live.
Like it's good and bad in all people, typically. I'm going next call though, guys. We got an 808 number. Well, I had an 808. Now I have a 360. 360, you're live.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, you're live, 360.
Hello, this is Paula.
Hey, Paula, what's up?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many 360s tonight. Hello, you know, I'm really happy. Three things I'll mention. I called you quite a while ago. I told you that I have a group online called Evangelical Christians for Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Well, it just tells you right away what I'm like. Anyway, the main thing for me today is that I live in Washington State, and I got to go drive down a few miles to the next city to pick up petitions for universal health care for Washington State.
Okay.
And that means that we are starting right now, and we have till the end of the year. And we did this in 2018, and it was it went very well, though, it's an organizing thing. And I happened to be in an area that just surprised me, and they went at it so good, and I ended up a leader, even though I don't like to lead. But the county, I live right up by the Canadian border, and it was really good. So now I went today and picked up petitions for starting again, and it's called Initiative 1362, and it'd be health care for all Washington State.
Okay.
And I know you care about that. I hope I'm not.
Yeah, I do care about
Yeah,
that.
and we'll be working hard. And the idea, of course, is that the other states are wanting to do things too, and they're talking to us all the time, and so it can be positive that way. Another thing would be that, we didn't talk tonight at all about the Israeli-Palestine Philistinian thing. And it's just that, my husband and I watch it together, and I actually have a very cool friend that has been to Palestine many times. He's, kind of like a theologian, a pastor, and he's been there. He's not excited about Biden. And so anyway, he knows, and he's even writing a book about it. But it's just, it's quite a thing, you know. It's so huge, and I still don't even completely understand the ins and outs, you know, like the history. Though I have read some of the cool books like Lemon Tree that talks about, you know, people, you know, the Israeli coming right into the home of the Palestinian and just moving in and all the stuff that goes on. But anyway, it's a terrible situation. I'm glad that you talk about it.
Well, Paula, I want to thank you for calling up. How do people find out about your organization, the Evangelical Christians for Sanders?
Okay, the main group that does it all is called Whole Washington.
Okay.
And if you look up wholewashington.org, or if you look on Facebook for Whole Washington Volunteers, that'll get you started.
Okay. Well, I support it, man. You know, we support
Thank
healthcare. You got it, Paula. You know,
Appreciate
we support
you.
healthcare.
And the other thing is that, you know, I've been griping, not griping, but I've been having so much trouble because of getting my phone straight and being hacked and all that. And I was giving a small amount to you through Patreon and a small amount through Facebook. And one of them dropped me recently, and I just went ahead yesterday and was able, while your program was on, or was it you weren't on yesterday, were you?
Not yesterday. Tuesday.
You were off yesterday. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was off yesterday.
This is Friday. You skipped 2 times this week?
Yeah, I got my COVID shot yesterday.
Oh, good. Well, we all accept what's going on. But anyway, yeah, so I did get it figured out, and now I'm mostly on Patreon and able to move it up this tiny bit. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Never too much now. Never too much. We're all good. We're all good. Yeah, you know, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of people, so I don't want anybody doing anything more than they can handle, because I know it's not just something we hear a lot, right? From people who got like memberships, but I never want people to feel like they got to give more than they can handle. You know what I'm saying? Because I know things are tough, man. And but thanks for supporting this show. Thank you for becoming a member. It's my job to find more people, and that's what I'm trying to work on. So, but you know, we support healthcare for all, and I think some people don't know this. There are some people who are resistant to the word Medicare for all. Some people's experience with Medicare is not that great, even though it is the most favorable. It's because our coverage is so bad in this country that even though Medicare is like the most highly favored, it's still some people have a negative connotation about Medicare. So some people say healthcare for all is the same thing in a way where they want a system where everyone's covered. And at the end of the day, I'm sure that's what we all want. So I support that. I support the initiative there in Washington State. And gosh, I hope that's successful. 941. 941, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 941.
Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Hi, Tim. This is Christine, Nick's wife.
Hey, Christine.
How
what's
are you
up?
doing?
I'm good, sis. What's up?
Okay. I'm going to give it a go here. My hands are shaking. But I'm not happy. I'm upset. I'm really upset. And my heart's like beating out of my chest because I am just so tired of watching what is happening. And I don't hear anybody, you know, I mean, I hear people, but all I hear is excuses and hate and bullshit. And I'm like, just the last case, I can't even in my head go through each one. I'm going to try to bring myself down. But the mothers of these poor black men, I don't know, I'm getting psyche problems from watching it, and I can't imagine how these women come out with the composure and grace and talk like they do when they have to hear their child suffer like that? How can anyone, I don't care what color you are, what you look like, I don't care. You're not human. There's something evil in your soul, and it's toxic. And we have to do something. I don't know what we have to do. I know we have to get rid of qualified immunity. I know that because if there's no consequences, why should anything stop? It won't stop. I don't know a lot about the laws, and I'm learning, as I'm going. But just racism, white people need to open their eyes and stop following these hate groups and all this bull crap. I'm just tired of it. I mean, it's disgusting. How can you sit up there and these politicians are all rotten? All of them. They're actors. They should get Academy Awards. And the only ones they pick on are the girls, the women of color, all the time. And we put the whole party on their back. And they're the only ones standing up. The only ones. And Bernie. And that's about it. And we're picking them all apart. How old are they? They're in their 30s, most of them. I don't know. I know I'm there's one other thing I wanted to say. I was sitting thinking about it. White people need to realize, poor white people, because I'm poor. I could go and put makeup on, fix my hair, do my nails, and go out there, and people don't know I'm poor. But when a black woman or a man walks out the house, they can't change their skin color. So they need to understand that. There's a big difference. I'm just tired of the crap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for calling up, and I hope I didn't bring the whole show down. But it was I called and hung up. But I had to get it off my chest. And then I hope I just made sense.
You made sense more.
And the other thing, Tim, I'm sorry. Okay. What about when the police used to have all these mechanisms to throw down the stop cars? What happened to those days? Remember the days where they were trying to figure out, the metal tracks to throw down to stop the tires? All that stopped happening after 9/11 because the whole police department became a military. They think they're the military, that they're at war. But it's a war on black people and minorities. So I'm sorry, but I got angry again. But I'm upset, Tim. I'm really, really upset. And also with Israel. I don't care. I'm not anti-Semitic. I love Jewish people. I don't like the Jewish government. They know exactly what they're doing, and we're giving them the money to do it. And all we have to do is tell them we're not giving them the money. And we need to help the Palestinian people have a life. They got them boxed in projects. They have their unemployment rate is like 50%. There's no hope. When you have no hope, you have nothing. So I know I brought a bunch of bad, but I had to get it off my chest. And I love you, and I'm out there trying on the computer my best to let everybody know about the show, because we need to wake up a lot of people. And that's it. And I'm sorry I ranted tonight.
Nah, that's perfect. Give it up for...
I really am.
Give it up for Christine, y'all. What's going on? Give it up for Christine. Wow. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's from the heart. That's all heart right there, Johnson. That's all heart. See, I love when I get calls like that because you are speaking for other people who are listening to this show and they didn't call up. They're like, okay, that's me. That's how I feel. There you go. Speak, girl. Go ahead and talk. Say it. Say that. That's the beauty of this show, man. That's why I do this show. That's why I do it, man. 214, you're live, Trill South. What's your comment, Trill?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I saw a few of the crazy calls there for a minute, and I thought, I'm going to go ahead and call and chime in, pull out my flamethrower and spit a little fire at everybody's night to get everybody ready. I feel like in listening to you, you may have a significant amount of people that are disabled. I am myself. As of 3 years ago, I became disabled. So I'm fighting that government system. So I understand the people that are listening that are disabled, the people that are listening and who sympathize with what they see being done to different ethnicities and minorities across the country, but you don't feel comfortable talking about it. Don't be afraid to call in, dial the numbers, speak and voice your opinion. Speak with love instead. If you're afraid to say, and you're afraid that you might say the wrong thing, call in and speak with love and what you love and what you like to see, and that can help you feel comfortable to speak a little. More callers is better. I'm sure Tim will be happy to have more people calling, more voices, and elevating more voices is a good thing to build the movement. So I want to tell the people that are listening and watching that feel a little unsure, call in. I mean, I sound like an idiot. I feel like, but I call in. I've got things to say. I've got things that are on my mind, and so I'm going to talk about it. And you should feel free to do the same thing. Elevate your voice and let it out and help yourself, help everybody else, Getting your voice heard and getting your opinions out, especially positive ones, is going to help you feel better about yourself and help you feel as though you're doing something to make the show better. Is one aspect. You're doing something to maybe help the community and the world get better as well. So don't be afraid to punch your phone numbers in, call, and speak for a minute. Speak with love if you're afraid of what you've got to say. So what I was going to say is, I wondered, I'll throw out a conspiracy theory. I'm not a person who's into conspiracy theories, but do we think the police force in this country has, over an amount of time, who knows, from the start, was there a certain point that this may have happened in the past, we'll say, since the 50s, we'll say. I'm not sure of the exact date, but are there a lot of infiltrators in the police force who are there? Because if you listen to NWA, Fuck the Police, which is what I grew up on, listen to the words. Don't just hear. A lot of people hear the song and they hear Fuck the Police. Listen to the words, listen to the meaning, and learn something from it, and then look at things through that lens for a minute. Because what do police have the authority to kill a minority? That's one of the things that's said in this song. Do police feel they have that authority? And I'm starting to think there may be a lot of them, not all of them for sure. There are good police. We used to think, is it the bad apple? Is what they like to say. Is there 1 out of 10 that's bad? Maybe it's the other way in reverse. Maybe it's 9 out of 10 that are bad and only 1 out of 10 that's actually good. So our police filled with a bit of infiltrators who feel they have that authority to kill, to abuse, without having to face the consequences. What's the worst that a police officer can see for killing a black man, killing a Native American man or woman or whoever? What is the worst that they can see? Can they say, well, you're going to get fired, but guess what? Any other police force in the country is going to happily pick you up, and so you've got another job. Take a short break, take a week off, take 2 weeks off, but you've got another job because once you've been a police officer, all of these other forces are almost happy to hire you because you got fired for doing something that they're filled with infiltrators that maybe they believe they're supposed to do. And they're firing you just because of the public spotlight being put on them. They're not necessarily firing you because they disagree with what you've done. They disagree with how what you've done looks once the spotlight has been put on them. So has the police force got infiltrators? A lot of people who have these opinions. You know, to be racist, you don't have to simply scream and say the code words. You don't. I mean, that's the easy racist. The people who say the code words and scream it out and say the things, those are the least to worry about because they're putting themselves out and easy to see. What about the people who act on it? Who act on it in running their business and doing their job, act on it, but never say it. Those are the ones that you have to worry about. Those are when we say racist, we're not talking about the guy who's running around calling people names and making outbursts and looking ignorant. That guy has put himself out in the open and shown who he is. He's the least of your threats. The guy who does all of the things without actually saying it, but it's in his head and in his actions, who throws the racism out in much different ways without actually saying it. That's what we mean when we talk about racism. We talk about people like that. We talk about systemic racism, not the guy who's running around throwing the code words out and saying the ignorant things. That guy's an idiot. That guy's, what would we say, a hater? How long has it been since you heard someone calling another person, you're a hater? Maybe that's what that guy is. But call in, that's what I wanted to say. Get on Twitch is what I wanted to say. You know, the police force is, albeit a little bit of a conspiracy, the police force is full of infiltrators who are doing these things because they feel they have the immunity to do them. So what people need to do is, if you want to vote, that's great. Me being a little revolutionary, I think it's time to act up a little. It's time to get a little crazy, a little revolution, and be ready to fight for what you need. Fight for changing this country. Fight for making this a better place. Do it in whatever way you feel you can do best. You don't have to do it in the way that somebody else says you should do. Do it in what means you have to be able to do best. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to say it's another good show. You hit another one. Maybe those first few calls, maybe it wasn't a home run on those few calls. Maybe it's a triple. Maybe it's a double and you steal another base. But you get there, and you're working your way there. So, I mean, keep working, sir. Keep doing a good thing and keep up the fight.
That's it, brother. Thank you, Trill South in the house. Yeah, man. Keep up the good fight, man. And Trill, I love you, brother. You know that. You know you're my guy, right? I got to disagree with one thing, and I'm only going to do this because I want to just put this out there. I'm not exactly sure how to frame this. But when you say that the police force has been infiltrated, I think you're giving them too much credit. Or should I say not giving them enough credit? White supremacists entering policing has not been infiltration. white supremacy built policing in this country. And white supremacists that join it are the default. If you are a good police officer, if you're a good person who's not racist, who doesn't discriminate, you're joining an organization with a track record of anti-blackness, anti-union, anti-immigrant. That's just the history of policing. You're joining an organization that was founded to capture black people, escape slaves, and return them to their masters. You're a part of an organization that was created to protect rich white people, landowners' property, them and their property, and their access to their property, which was us. That's what policing was born. That's the origin of policing. And come Reconstruction, policing's job was to go arrest black people and put them back in the same conditions that they had become emancipated from. So they're not infiltrated. That's what the system is designed to do. And these people, and look, I feel sorry for people that join, who join policing thinking it's something else, who bought into the propaganda about policing. It's sort of like when I got into like white collar, like me without a degree, worked my way up, bust my ass, sacrificed a lot of time, did a lot of grunt work to try to get into position, thinking I provide this life for my family, was able to get the first reins of like management in like a white collar type situation, and was like, ew. I walk around all day trying not to be myself in environments that don't want me, that aren't built for me, in a culture that's not built for me. What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? And I just had to find another way out, find a way out of that, you know? So the same way I made a mistake going into that, thinking, oh, if I just work hard, if I just do this, if I just do that, nah, no. The same thing for those police officers who may have joined because they wanted to serve their community, or they wanted a good job with a good pension. They didn't know all that they were signing up for. They wanted a job that was respected, a job that came with some authority, they could make their parents proud. They might have signed up thinking that this is what the job entailed. But pretty soon they found out, as time went on, your job is to go get poor people, put them in jail, extract money from their community, imprison them, crack some heads to help the state make money. And after a while, you got to realize it. You can't just go, I don't know what's going on. I think we're here to do some good. No. It's all corrupt. And politicians could join politics and go into politics with good thoughts too. And they're like, hey, I want to do this. I want to fight for our community. This is what we need. And I'm going to fight for that. And then they get in. And they see corruption. They see people playing politics. They see people's careers get destroyed and people's careers get made for doing favors and backroom deals and money and all types of garbage, all types of misogyny, racism, bigotry, all types of shit I'm sure they see. And it's like, anyway, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are, folks. Here we are. So I want to thank everybody who called in tonight. It was a very good show. And you make it a better show. The show is better because of people like you calling up to the show, spitting truth to fire, speaking truth to fire, spitting hot fire. I don't know. See what you got me saying, True South? Spitting bars, right? Yeah. Let's go to the comment section, y'all. We got 2 new members, everybody. 2 new members of the Wolfpack, man. That's what's up. Kara Thomas became a member. I thought Kara was a member. I don't know what's going on, but welcome back, Kara. Destin Benz. I wanted to give 2 major shout-outs. First to Nina Turner. And who is strong and wonderful. Woman with lots of great ideas. And second to Mark Pocan for his toughness in this defense of Wisconsin workers. Is that Octavius? Octavius, my brother. Thanks, man. Hey, give it up for Kira one more time, y'all, because I make sure I let that sink in. I just thought she was already a member. But respect. Robin Bennett in the house. Thanks, Robin Bennett. Sheldon Hughes in the house. Keep up the great work, Tim. Thank you, Sheldon. I appreciate it. Yo, Bose Einstein. Cops Line reports. It's called creative reporting. Spot on. Devin Kelly. R.I.P. Paul Mooney. Yes. Ann's in the house. Ann sends love from Canada. My sister Ann. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate you. We appreciate you, Ann. William McGregor. Thank you, William. SK. SK says we need a big strike across the country. Please, everybody. SK. Nisi Moby's in the house. Nisi Moby, thank you. Dallas, my brother. People have to ask themselves where their politics drift towards when they take their hands off the wheel. Does it fall apart or become rabid Nazis? Whew. That's deep, brother. That's deep. William McGregor says, hold on. William, you crazy, man. William said, I was on the line, but dropped because I'm not qualified to follow Sophia. Hey, hold on. Give it up for that, man. That's funny. I can't go behind Sophia. I can't hang, man. She's amazing. Don't feel that way, William. Call up, speak your truth, man. This ain't a competition. Wow. Okay, it is almost 2:30 on the East Coast. We did the thing, right? Wolfpack. Okay, something's been bothering me, guys. I just want to say this. Some people were critical of my video about the bill, about the COVID bill that Biden just signed about anti-Asian hate. And I said in that video, I don't think we should be attacking Asian folks. Our grievance is with our government, not with Asian folks, about our beef should be with Congress, the Senate, the president, our government, about legislation that we think should be directed towards African Americans. Our grievance should not be with Asians. They didn't make this bill happen. And our lack of a bill. So, for instance, the Lynching Act that we want passed. We want an anti-lynching bill to become a law. It's not like Asians are against that, are they? So people are making some comments that Asians don't like black people. Damn, dog, that's, first of all, that's Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, Thai, Filipino. That's a lot of different countries of people that you're talking about. And I don't think it's fair to just like paint everybody with one brush, man. That's sort of like what we're saying we don't want people doing to us. So, like, I understand the frustration. I don't think it's caping to say that's not the way to go. And I know there are people out there that want to use that type of division. They want to use that type of anger in order to get you to view their content and to big them up and to do all this stuff. I just don't see how that helps. I just don't see how that helps us. How does it help us to say, well, Asians don't like black people, so, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some Asians who don't. I'm sure. But that's not the point. They don't make the laws in this country. Get what I'm saying? And the problems that we have with this government, we've been having those way before we had a problem with Asians or whatever you're talking about. Like, that's not why we went through Jim Crow and the new Jim Crow. And now we got Jim Crow Joe and Jim Crow Clyburn. Okay, like, that's not because of Asians. So, like, I understand we're upset. I'm upset too. I'm upset. I understand you're upset. Realize that people use your anger against you to do this and that it doesn't help us. Do you think that helps us for you to go, Asians are this and Asians are that? How does that help us? That doesn't. So, I just always want to keep it real with people. And if you're looking for me to do that now, I support reparations. I'm a lefty who supports reparations, who don't support this bullshit like race don't matter, it's all class. I think class and race are inextricably connected. And I think they're both grounds for us to have these conversations. So I differ with a lot of people who call themselves progressive, man. I don't even know what you call me. I just choose the term progressive. You just call me Tim Black. But I'm not going to chime in and if me keeping you as a viewer hinges on me, like, disparaging people based on their ethnicity, I can't rock with that, man. I know you're upset, I know you're angry and stuff, but look, there's other channels, and I know you know them very well. That's where you need to go. Because, see, here, I'm trying to build. I think in order to change our situation for Black Americans, we need to work with more people than just Black Americans, because we don't control the power in this country. Now, we can sit back and say, we are powerful. We can do this. We can do that. Yeah, okay. I think for it to get done, it's going to take more than just us. And that's why I think this show is important. If you're looking for that show that just bashes Asians or LGBTQ or Native Americans or Hispanics or whatever, this ain't the show. Because that's not what I'm on. Okay? I don't think that helps the situation at all. I think it only makes it worse. I think that's a distraction from the real people in power we need to go after. When you're going after the Asian guy who's only adhering, like an Asian person who owns a business that you don't like or whatever, they're getting beaten in the ass by white supremacy too. So we need to deal with the country's laws. And when I say white supremacy, I mean the structures that are racist. Not the people, the structure, the system. That's what we got to hit them, man. If we don't do that, we ain't going to win. It's not about dragging one another. It's about addressing these bigger issues. That's it. That's enough. That's my point. I lost some people, and I'm got to say, man, if that's what you think I got to do, I guess we're going to lose more people because I'm not with that. I'm not with it. And I wish you would rethink your politics and see that's not going to help us win. Maybe you just think we're not going to win. And my job is to just yell at people. I see some people, their job is just to yell. They have no structures in place. They're not trying to change legislation. Hell, they don't even know what legislation's out there. They're just riling you up to do nothing. So I wish you would realize that I'm not saying don't watch them. You can watch more than one program. But when you come over here, we're trying to build some shit. All right. I'm Tim Black. Find me as Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram, I'm Tim Black at Night. Next week, I got a special guest who'll be joining us. It's great. We're going to have a great interview. I think it's scheduled for Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's scheduled for Wednesday. I'll announce it on Monday. But you're going to love her. That's all I'm going to say. Hello, somebody. Let me go make sure my comments are in. Ann became a member. Give it up for Ann. Don Holland said, Tim, thanks for keeping it real. I keep it too real, man. So, Don, I'm going to tell you, fam. Don, sometimes I think I keep it too real, but I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Kara Thomas says on the Asian violence, damn, I saw that, Kara, on the Asian violence as well. Counter racism will never get us anywhere. It just bothers me, Kara. You know what I'm saying, sis? Because these people saw those videos of Asian people being beat up. Now, if Asians saw videos of us getting beat up, and then they were like, oh, that's all propaganda, what would you say about that? See, man, like, all I'm saying is, like, I'm no saint. I'm no saint, and sometimes I fly off the handle. I get emotional. I get pissed off. I get angry. I want to kick some butt too, okay? I get angry. But come on, guys. Those people had no business putting their hands on other people. I don't give a damn who they were. Now, I understand some of the people who did it had mental issues, and they need help. They need mental help. They need facilities. They need treatment. But it doesn't change the fact that those people were hurting people. And that's wrong. And that happens, and it's wrong, okay? But you just say, oh, it's just propaganda. It's too easy. Every second of every day, somebody's getting beat up. Every day, hundreds of people get assaulted. That's what happens in America. People are frustrated. They're overworked. They're underpaid, overworked, stressed, unhealthy, all types of stuff. Living in poverty, trying to keep a roof over head, addicted to something, dealing with whatever they're dealing with every day. And based on all that, you're in that soup with all these ingredients, violence, mayhem, corruption, anger, frustration, mental unhealth, all these issues. Oops, at one time, right? Man, dog, I know because I cover news. I'm trying to tell you, there's so many bad stories you could cover every day. If you want any group of people to look horrible, they could look horrible. Because there's so many stories you could cover. If all you cover are Asian people getting beat up, you could cover that. You could cover just black people getting beat up. You could cover just white women getting beat up. You can cover just white men getting beat up. You can cover just white men beating on white men or eating pizza or at a party. Like this, there's so much. I mean, there are 50 states in the country. There's violence in those 50 states at varying levels. Just imagine. I think sometimes we don't really truly understand how big of a country we have, how many different people we have, how different the country is everywhere you go, in different states, different cities, how different they are, and the shit that goes on. Like, it's crazy. There's also a lot of good that happens. Oh, there's a lot of good that happens that we never hear about. There's probably been so many good stories that shows Asian folks and black folks and Latino folks or whatever folks, white folks. Like, there's good stories that never get reported because they don't want to report those. You know how hard it is to find good stories? Positive stories? It's not that they don't happen. It's just they don't cover that on the news. I wonder why, Johnson. So when I say we need to work together, people go, where that gonna happen at? I don't see that. It happens, dog. Everything happens. Because it's a lot of different people. You gotta have a little bit more faith in humanity. I know some of us are not in the business of giving people faith or hope or anything. You're just in the business of further depressing you, making you angry for you to watch their content and give them money, okay? I'm not trying to do that to you. What I'm telling you is we need to build. We need to work. That's not just that, yeah, we need to know bad stories. We need to know what's happening, but we also need to know when we're getting played too. So when people are just trying to pit us against one another, at least slow down enough to hear a different approach. That's all. That's all I'm saying. If America, these people want you to hate immigrants, they want you to hate anybody else besides the power structure. They got you believing that immigrants are the worst thing that ever happened, and that's the reason why white people or the government or whatever, they want you to believe that immigrants are the reason why the government makes us depend on tax revenue in order to fund our schools. They don't have nothing to do with each other. Like, if there were no immigrants, they still do that. Like, a lot of the problems that we have, I give up, man. I'm gone. I give up. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know most people know exactly what I'm trying to say. They knew 10 minutes ago. I didn't need to go through all of this. It's just, gosh, man. It gets frustrating, people. You know what I'm saying? It gets frustrating because I know they're playing us. But I'm also not on some pretend everything's okay and their race don't matter. I know it does. I've been in the real world. These people are lying to themselves. Even white folks I know that are like, even my white friends admit they know a lot of racists. They know how it is at their jobs. They're real with this. My white friends keep it real. I don't know these white people that don't keep it real. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't exist in this world. No, everybody gets judged. Martin Luther King said, judge a man by his character. And now, shut up. They shot him in the head and blew his brains out. That's how much they judge him by his character. They killed Malcolm X in front of his kids and his wife. They said judge him by his character. Yeah, and then they blew his brains out. Okay. Don't leave. Why you leave that part out? Why is that part not there? They try to get him to commit suicide for 20 years. They try to get him to kill himself. Your government agents tried to get him to kill himself. When that didn't work, they killed him. That part somehow left out when Tucker gets to talking. Don't get me started. So, yeah. Have a great weekend. Love somebody, hug somebody, make some friends, patch up a beef you got with somebody. Hey, man, we're too old. We got to move past bullshit. We got enough to deal with. If you hold on to some nonsense, let it go. Let it go and let God. You know what I'm saying? Let it go, let God, man. Somebody out here is mad at somebody about something that happened so long ago, you don't remember what you're mad about. You just know you're not talking. Clean it up. Clean it up. Nothing's promised. Not another day is promised to you or I. So we need to clean up our bullshit and make things right and move on and set them bags down. That makes sense? Or just keep carrying around the bags. Be a better person. We all got the ability to be graceful, be magnanimous, be thoughtful, and have empathy for one another. So why not use it? That's all. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. And I'll see you next week, Johnson. That's it. I'm Tim Black, real Tim Black. Follow me there. I'll follow you wherever. We are gone. Any other comments, guys? I don't want to miss none of my people. Sometimes I do, you know. Never intentionally, y'all. Thank you to everybody who contributed to the show tonight. You are the best. Can't do it without you. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Twitch. All my Twitch people, thank you, Twitch. Thank you for sharing the show on Facebook. Facebook has made sure my reach is lower than low. But you know what? It's okay. I got a plan for that. Wolfpack. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean they're talking heads.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Do they know
Goodbye.
you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.
Don't forget, this show is brought to you by Above the Law. How qualified immunity protects violent police. Stories about qualified immunity and why we need to get rid of it. Why it must be abolished. This book is a good book. Ben Cohen, co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, Michael Render, a.k.a. Killer Mike, wrote the foreword. Become an qualified immunity level Patreon of the Tim Black Show and get a free book.